Yo, what's up, dudes? Shit. My computer's playing something. Oh, there it goes. It's playing me. Oops. What's up, dudes? How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing tonight, my brothers? We got some shit to talk about. We got some stuff to talk about. Some very interesting stuff. Ugh! Ooh, there we go. We're gonna give it a few minutes before we actually start talking about everything, just to let some people get in here, because I goofed and I set my stream notification weird, right? So, or not my stream notification. I started stream on YouTube with it being private because I'm actually dumb. And I did not notice that. But regardless, we do have some very interesting stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to be doing some Chapter 34 speculation for DBD. Because, well, obviously we had like another leak, right? Another, well, not really a leak, but just like confirmation of a leak, right? So we're going to be talking about that. And Maximilian dude put out a video fighting games that deserved the hate. And I thought that was a really interesting video. I watched it. And I really want to talk about fighting games that didn't deserve the hate. So we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Going to talk about DBD first, obviously, though, right? I want to turn like some music on the stream, but I'm a little scared too. Because I don't want YouTube to like catch it and immediately be like, hey, asshole, you know? But anyway, let me find what we're actually going to be talking about, right? Let me find that real quick. So I think it's right here. Yeah. So this is what we're going to be talking about. Go ahead and pull it up. I'm sure some of you have already seen it. We're going to pull that up. But until then, just hang out. Just hang out for a few minutes. Finished getting a couple of knickknacks here and there set up. I think everything's good to go. I'm still sick. Man, shit sucks. But we're also going to try to play a little bit of Mortal Kombat 1 tonight. Maybe. Depending on how I'm feeling. So I don't know, man. Mortal Kombat's one of those. Mortal Kombat 1's one of those where it's like, I think I want to play it a little bit, and then I boot it up, and I'm like, oh man, I really did not want to actually play this right now. Because it's just boring. Remember it being better than it was. But, okay. Alright, Dukes. So, obviously, there's a lot of talk going around about Chapter 34, right? We make some videos talking about some, like, leaks for Chapter 34. We basically know who it is. Although it's kind of went back and forth a little bit on whether it's actually going to be this killer or not. And I mean, I'm sure if you clicked on this video, like, you don't care, right? But at the same time, spoiler alert, it's been very heavily speculated and leaked, speculated upon because it was leaked by a very reputable leaker in the community, that it's going to be Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul, which is awesome, right? Super sick. Sorry, I had to burp. But it's kind of like going back and forth in the aspect of people just aren't like set in stone, like convinced that it's going to be him. But the most reputable leaker in the community once again posted for New Year's, just kind of confirming it because we're getting very close, right? He posted a "Where's Waldo?" thing, right? So where's Waldo? Let's pull this up and its own page and zoom in. Where is Waldo, bro? I've already spotted him. It's already been pointed out in the Twitter comments. He didn't really make it hard to find it. If you look right here, right there, we have our little King Kaneki hiding in the crowd, right? So, I mean, if you trust the leaks, which, I mean, at this point, I do. They've just gotten so brazen, in my opinion. So brazen that it's really just dumb not to trust them at this point if you're the type of person who looks into leaks. So it really does look like it's going to be King Kaneki. We have had some, like, other potential chapters, like, speculated on, right, when it comes to Jurassic World or Jurassic Park or whatever, and we're still waiting on, like, a potential Terrifier chapter with Art the Clown. Like I said, a lot of people have been going, like, kind of back and forth within the past couple of weeks, like, on whether they actually think it's Tokyo Ghoul or not, but there have been a number of things, like, pointing that it's going to be Tokyo Ghoul. Like, if I can find it. See, it should be on Twitter. Maybe. You know what? I'm actually scared to look for anything on Twitter without it being on the other screen. And that's why. Thank God. Thank God I put that on my other screen, or I would have just gotten banned from Twitch and YouTube. Fucking Twitter, dude. Fucking Twitter. Let me see. That's gotta be somewhere. Where is this? Here it is. It happened not that long ago. So a lot of people have been speculating that the Unknown actually teased the past 3 chapters, right? Or, not really like full chapters, right? But, like, we'll look at them. So, I live in Dungeons Long Forgotten is a voice line from the Unknown. And the speculation is that he teased Dungeons and Dragons. Same with Lara Croft in Tomb Raider, that crossover, Prepare for the Expedition, and Hunger, Intolerable Hunger, right? So if we really dig deep into it, right, like, the Unknown came out before, you know, these 2 chapters, paragraph for Tomb Raider, and Hunger, Intolerable Hunger, dude, that fits with Tokyo Ghoul to a fucking T, right? Hunger, Intolerable Hunger. I've only watched, like, the first 3 episodes of that show, but that already, especially with, like, the leaks and shit that Ruthless has, you know, talked about, posted, whatever, it just makes complete sense for that to be it, right? Hunger, Intolerable Hunger. If you've seen anything for the beginning of Tokyo Ghoul, you know exactly what that is referring to. So, along with the whole Where's Waldo thing, right? Let me pull that back up. Along with the whole Where's Waldo thing, the post for the beginning of the year, man, it really does look like we're actually getting Tokyo Ghoul and not Jurassic Park or Jurassic World or anything like that, which I'm entirely cool with. I want to make it like a video of its own, so I'm not going to go too, like, deep in with talking about this, but I actually think some of these animes out here, / mangas, whatever, really fit well with, like, DBD's theme. I'm going to make a full video, like I said, talking about it, but, like, Berserk, dude, there's so many different things you could do with Berserk. Maybe not having, like, Guts as a survivor or anything like that. That wouldn't work. It would probably only work with adding someone like Farnese or maybe even Casca as a survivor. But, like, as far as killers go, there's so many options. I mean, you could get Griffith as Femto or whatever. You could get so many of the different apostles that are, like, popular in the manga, in the show, in the movies, whatever you actually watch that on. There's so many different ones. I'd go as far as to say like Death Note could be a really cool chapter for DBD. They could do something cool and interesting with like having something like L, right, as a survivor, and they could have something like Light as a killer, right, but maybe not in the same aspect as every other killer. Have like the kind of like 4D chess that they play to where there's 5 survivors on the screen now, and you have to try to figure out who is holding the death note. So maybe it wouldn't be Light. Maybe there would be an option to have Light as a skin, or like he'll transform or some shit. I don't know how they do it. Or you could just go straight up with a Shinigami and have Ryuk, right, as the actual killer. I really hope that's not getting picked up. I think they could do a lot of cool shit with that. So, like, I don't necessarily think these anime chapters are bad. Like I said, full video on that soon. But I think it's really cool. And I think, even though I haven't watched that far into Tokyo Ghoul, I think it's a pretty banger chapter, especially with, like, the side of, you know, he eventually, like, he's got to eat humans. Like, at some point, right? That's how they stay alive. So, even though he's kind of like the main character, the protagonist, whatever, it kind of makes sense to have him in the game because, you know, he's obviously the main character, most popular. It makes sense for him to be the killer on, like, a crazed, hunger-filled, like, killing spree, whatever, I guess. Maybe the entity brings that out of him, like, forces him into that hunger 24/7, which is why he's hunting the survivors. Whatever lore reasons you want to have it, you know, whatever. I think it fits really well. So it does look like Chapter 34 is more than likely going to be Ken Kageki from Tokyo Ghoul. And I'm obviously down for it. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. So, yeah. Can't wait to chase people around as a ghoul. It's going to be fucking sick, dude. Yeah, what's up, Nathan? How are you, brother? How are you doing? I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you? I think that's sick, though. I think that's really cool. Having, I really don't think anime chapters are bad, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The next thing I really want to talk about, what's going on right now. We were doing Chapter 34 speculation for DBD. It looks like Tokyo Ghoul, the anime/manga, is going to be coming into Dead by Daylight for Chapter 34, according to leakers. And I think it's super cool. The next thing I wanted to talk about, though, chat, is Maximilian Dude put out a pretty cool video, I would say, because it's one of those things where, like, Maximilian is, like, I would say one of the most acknowledged fighting game content creators, and it's why he's the biggest content creator. You don't really hear him complain much, right? Which is fair. He likes to stay positive, whatever. When it comes to his community, he doesn't like to be negative. I don't like to be negative. I end up being negative, unfortunately, because I'm very passionate about the games that I play, the franchises. So I'm pretty negative when it comes to some aspects of DBD, and pretty negative when it comes to Mortal Kombat. But, like, as far as other fighting games go, I'm pretty positive. Like, I love Street Fighter 6. But you don't hear him do this much. You don't hear him or see him, like, put out, like, big criticism videos, right? So he put out a video called Fighting Games That Deserved the Criticism. I thought it was a fantastic video. I watched it earlier today. And I kind of wanted to counter it with some fighting games that did not deserve the criticism. Because there were a lot of fighting games that came out, like, in the past 10, 12 years that got a lot of criticism. And I just didn't feel like it was deserved. I mean, one fighting game that Max is even criticizing, it's one of my favorites. So I wanted to, like, make a video kind of like in response as, like, a, you know, something like that, to talk about fighting games that just did not deserve the shit that they got. So yeah, let's talk about some of them. People would love an anime chapter, just a weird choice for some people, and there are so many out there. No one will be fully happy with what's chosen. That's fact. It's like I said, I want a Berserk chapter. I think it would fit really well. It's just the question of how would you do the Survivor for a Berserk chapter, because there are so many different characters in the series that would fit well as a killer. I mean, even if you didn't want to go with Femto for Griffith, whatever, right? You could do something like Zod. He would fit perfect. You could do one of the apostles that work under Griffith, right? Something like that. Or one of the other apostles. You know, one of the many apostles he's fought. One of the 5, right? Outside of Griffith. You could do one of the 5 outside of Griffith. There's so many different things. It's just a problem when it comes to the Survivor. Like, who would you do? You could do Farnese, but then you go Berserk chapter, and it's like, well, you were really getting Farnese as the Survivor. You could do Casca, but like when she's kind of lost her mind after what happened to her. But then at that point, it's like, well, she didn't really run for fucking anything. She was kind of like protected during all of it. And then you really just couldn't have Guts. Like, Guts would be impossible. Guts could not be the Survivor. And that's kind of a problem when it comes to it. Maybe it would be like a paragraph chapter with only getting like a killer and a map. Guilty Gear was a good fighting game. But the first fighting game that did not deserve the shit that it got. And this is actually like the one that Max has been very vocal that he did not like. Oh god, I can't hit my backspace bar. Injustice 2, dude. Injustice 2. And there has been like a little bit of resurgence back for it, right? A little bit of resurgence for Injustice 2. Let's look. Online matches. You know, like just watch a little bit of the gameplay, right? The greatest comeback you will ever see, Honeybee Commander. Like, Injustice was like really... Injustice 2 was a little rough when it came out. It had a lot of like hardcore zoning, like with Deadshot and everything. But once that got fixed, it was a really fun fighting game to play. It had a lot of like freedom of expression when it came to the characters, a lot of really cool combos and setups. Oki, like it was super fun in my opinion. Like a lot of the characters felt different, and it gave us some of the most iconic characters in like NRS, like Scarecrow was super fun to play. Harley was super cool. The Flash was super cool in this game. A lot of it was actually, it's one of the few NRS games that is like legacy, right? So Injustice 2 was like an updated version of Injustice 1 with like some new moves, a new coat of paint, some new systems and shit like that, right? I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really cool. I do not think it deserved all of the hate that it got. Like, yeah, when it first came out, it definitely more or less deserved some of the hate when it came to like zoning and stuff. But I really feel like the zoning like improved as time went on. Like they put out a patch like not like extremely quickly, but like pretty quick when it came to how broken Deadshot was. Yeah, Starfire when she came out, she was a little like zone heavy, but she also had some pretty good rushdown as well. Like I felt like you could play this game in so many different ways with like freedom of expression and like different characters and the way they played. And you also had the tools to get around some of the zoning. Yeah, some of it was super fucking annoying. There were some characters, it's like, God, I don't want to fight this character. But like outside of that, not everybody did that. It wasn't a very zone heavy game where like everybody had so many zoning tools like MK11 and even MK1. So, like, there was a lot of enjoyment to be had here. I really just don't think it deserved all the hate that it got, especially when it comes to, like, it had a lot of content, too. There was a lot to do, and it was a good DC story mode. I felt like it was really good, dude. And you had so many different ways you can make your character look. There was some premium skins that completely changed the way that the character looked, changed them into a different character, gave them a different voice, and everything else. I just thought it was really cool. It definitely did not deserve all the hate. And I'm one of the few people sitting on pins and needles waiting on an Injustice 3. I want it really, really, really freaking bad. So, while it did deserve some of the criticisms it got, I don't think it deserved everything, right? Let's see. The next one. What is the next one, chat? I'm trying to think, because there are so many fighting games that came out, dude. So many fucking games that came out. I'd say my next one, believe it or not, is, hold on. Let me find it. I'd say Street Fighter 6, dude. Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 gets a surprising amount of hate. Especially recently, for some reason. Like, a lot of people are hating on Street Fighter 6 right now. Whether they're saying it's too explosive or, you know, whatever. Talking about it just being too exciting. Capcom literally gave us exactly what we wanted. They released Street Fighter V, and nobody liked it because it was slow, it was esports based, the characters didn't have a lot of freedom of expression, there weren't any cool combos, the game was just slow, it was boring, it was not really fun to play, it wasn't interesting, none of the characters really looked cool, the art style was off-putting, right? It got a lot of hate, and I think it deserved it, but like, since the game came out, people have been complaining, especially pro players, they're like, dude, it's too much, right? Like, it's too much to take in. It's just too explosive. Oh, gosh. I am Wonder. But, you know, they gave us what we want. It's not boring. It's exciting. There's a bunch of different fun mechanics in the game. The drive system, while it is flawed, it gives us it makes the game fast. And fast fighting games are fun. Obviously, everything's subjective. But fast fighting games are fun, dude. I think most people would agree with that, right? So they went back, they were like, okay, what went wrong with Street Fighter V? And they fixed it. They were like, okay, everybody thought it was boring. There weren't that many fun game mechanics when it came to playing the game, right? So they added this crazy-ass drive system. They brought pairing back in some way, shape, or form because it was one of the most widely regarded fun features of Third Strike, right? So they brought parry back, made it a bit different, right? And they gave us everything that we wanted. They fixed everything that we complained about. Now, are there still problems with Street Fighter 6? Yeah, absolutely. The Oki in the game is not very good for most characters, right? The Oki in the game doesn't work well outside of a couple of characters because it ends up just being throw loops, right? It is throw loop the game when it comes to Oki. You are throw looping and you are baiting out throws, throw techs to get counters with punish counters, right? That's not good. That's not the best. That could definitely be worked on, but we're year 1.5, getting ready to be 2, and I'd say it's the most fun Street Fighter since Street Fighter 4. Absolutely. In Street Fighter 4, I say that and you're like, well, you know, it's 6, 5, 4, you know, that's not that long ago. Street Fighter 4 came out in like 2009. You know, it's been a hot minute. So this is the best Street Fighter. We had multiple different versions of 4. The most popular edition, the most played edition, I won't say the most popular, I would say, was Ultra Street Fighter 4. Ultra Street Fighter 4 had a lot of problems. Street Fighter 5 made a comeback, but like on launch, base, right? Street Fighter 6 is an amazing game, and I don't think it deserves all the hate. I think they gave us exactly what we wanted, what we asked for, and yeah, I just really appreciate it because they listened to the community, dude, right? Fix some throw loops, right? They need to fix the throw loops, in my opinion. Add some more Oki, you know, ways to get out of throw loops, whatever. They should do that, but as far as base game goes, on launch, it was fantastic. The roster was a little bit lacking. It still is, kinda. But the game itself is so fucking fun, dude. Street Fighter 2 is your childhood? Yeah, dude. I went back and played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That shit's fun. Same with 3, 4, 5, and 6. Killer Instinct was... yeah, Killer Instinct was a great game, dude. Yeah, when they added Terry, yeah, the SNK crossovers with Mai and Terry is just fantastic. And that's another thing. They are giving us in Street Fighter 6 these really cool crossovers with SNK. And it's kind of like building up to, we have a new Fatal Fury coming out this year, this year in 2025 in April, right? We have a new Fatal Fury coming out. And the fighting game, SNK and Capcom fighting game collection is coming out. So we're getting Capcom versus SNK 2, dude. Like, bro, right? Like, they're giving us everything. Capcom is on a fucking roll, brother. Right? SNK and Capcom are on a roll. Like, King of Fighters 15 wasn't as popular as I think it should have been. But, like, a new Fatal Fury that looks a lot like Street Fighter 6, dude. Bro. Capcom versus SNK versus Capcom, whatever, 2, coming back, and then all of these crossovers with SNK, with Terry and Mai, dude, we're eating right now. Capcom is on a fucking high, dude. Like, it feels, yeah, Capcom versus SNK, CNS. We're on a fucking high, dude. Like, it's starting to feel like fucking 2009 again, 2008 again, with Street Fighter 4, I forget what else came out, but like as far as Capcom goes, like Street Fighter 4, and then like shortly after that we got Marvel vs. Ultimate Marvel. Well, no, it wasn't Ultimate yet. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? So like, dude, like they're just on a roll. Like Street Fighter 6 kind of like kicked it off, dude. Well, some of the work that they did with Street Fighter 5 really kicked it off, like improving that game and making it a fun fighting game by the end of it. But like as far as like new releases goes, like Street Fighter 6 really like kicked off like their redemption journey, right? And we were getting all this cool shit from them. Marvel vs. Capcom 2's back in the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection, dude. Like, holy shit, we can play Marvel 1, Marvel 2, X-Men versus Street Fighter, dude. We can play all of those games again. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a big one, dude. MVC4 is possible again because of that. Like, they are on a fucking roll, dude. And I think Street Fighter 6 really kicked that off. It's a fantastic, fun game, and I do not think it deserves the hate that it gets, especially recently. It's so weird. Another one. I'm not gonna watch Infinite and Beyond. Oh man. Actually, I'll watch Infinite and Beyond because it's just like the most updated. So we're watching Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond gameplay, right? Max's mod that just came out, that he spent $30,000 on and put like a year's worth of work into. Fantastic. But I will say, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite definitely deserved a lot of the hate it got. But it did not deserve the hate when it came to its gameplay. And I don't even know if this would be the right way to say it, right? I don't know if it would be the right way to say it because the gameplay never really got hate because it was pretty widely agreed that it was a really, really fun fighting game, right? But I will say I'm putting it in this video because it didn't get the recognition it deserved for the gameplay. The gameplay in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is some of the best in the series. I'll go ahead and say that. Would I prefer like a 3v3? Did it go backwards in that aspect? Yeah, kinda. But when it comes to the Power Stone and the way the tagging system works in MVCI, it was just so fun. It was so free. There were so many different things you could do. The freedom of expression was like turned up to 12 in this game. Yeah, we had some broken characters like you're seeing one now. Zero, Jugga was pretty jank, and Dante as per usual since he's been in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. Yeah. But like, I just don't think the gameplay is talked about enough in how fucking good and fun it is. Even when it comes to the stones, dude, it's so fun. Like, even as someone who doesn't care for the cast all that much, especially with the Marvel side, which is a big thing for me, it's become less of a thing since I've really gotten into Street Fighter and shit like that. It's become less of like a deal breaker with that cast. But like, even with the bad cast where I didn't care for most of them and it didn't have X-Men, right? The gameplay was so fun that I just picked a couple characters, like especially when Venom got in there. Venom's one of my favorite, but like before Venom, I picked Spider-Man, and then I was playing characters I'd never even heard of in in Marvel vs. Capcom, or Marvel in general rather, which I was gonna say Dormammu, because I didn't even know at that point who the fuck Dormammu was. But I was like, yo, he kind of looks dope, so I just picked him. I didn't really care if I knew who he was or not. And he was fun. Doctor Strange was super fucking fun. You know, a lot of the cast was fun. They just weren't the characters that we wanted them to be, right? Because I specifically remember like a developer interview when people were mad about not having Magneto or Storm or Jean Grey, Phoenix, right? And they were like, well, that's what Nova and Captain Marvel are for if you want 8-way wave dashing, right? And it's like, yikes. Yeah, like, wow, you're really going to do that? You're really going to say that? But at the same time, like, they do all the same things, and it's fun. It's a lot of fucking fun. I just don't think the gameplay in this game is talked about enough, and now it is talked about now with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond, which, thank God, you know, the updated code of paint, you know, really shows that people really care about, like, graphics and cast in a fighting game, which I'm glad it's letting, like, fighting game developers know that, because it is a big thing. The way your game looks in a fighting game, we're looking at graphics and art style more than most other video games, right? Like, if Call of Duty looks like shit one year, nobody cares, but we're seeing all these different animations and supers and character models up close much more than a lot of other games out there. So it's important, right? And cast, right? Like, who you have to pick from to play. That's a huge thing as well. But, like, the gameplay, I'm so glad Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond is a thing, because the gameplay, it's really like having people be like, oh yeah, fuck, that game was actually like a lot of fun. And that's such a good thing, because it deserves it. It's such a fun fucking fighting game. Yo, nay, yep. I still think MK11's a pile of shit, dude. MK11 is a pile of hot garbage. Hot garbage. You know, and another one, I feel like I'm in a fever dream thinking this, right? But another fighting game that I don't think deserved the hate that it got. Maybe I'm in a fever dream. Maybe I'm remembering things differently, but I specifically remember like, I actually have some gameplay. Hold on, chat. It's way down here, brothers. It's way down here. Right there. Man, my old style of videos, dudes. My old thumbnails and shit, bro. For some reason, I specifically remember... Oh my god, the lag. What is going on here? What is happening? Oh me, bro. Oh me. I specifically remember Guilty Gear Strive getting a lot of shit, right? I remember it getting like so much hate. And dude, this was the game that introduced me to Guilty Gear. I never played Guilty Gear. I'd never even heard of Guilty Gear before. Well, I heard of it, but I just didn't really, like, I never looked into it. It was kind of like King of Fighters for me before King of Fighters 15 came out. I never, like, looked into Guilty Gear. And then Strive came out, and it had so much hype around it. I played it. Like, the mechanics in this game, dude, were so much fucking fun. Zato, dude, Soul Bad Guy. I played both of these characters very voraciously, dude. It was so much fucking fun, dude. The different systems and mechanics they had in the game, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't play it as much as I should anymore, even though I know people are still playing. Like, it's one of those games where, fighting games that I want to go back and relearn, just because of, like, how good it actually was, dude. It was so much fun. I will say, on launch, the character variety wasn't the best, but the characters that were in the game played so vastly different and were so much fucking fun. They had so many mix-ups, different options for Oki, combo variations where you weren't seeing the same combos over and over again. You can look at the game right now, how beautifully animated the game is, how beautiful the graphics were, dude. The backgrounds, like, while they're not the most flashy, they still look great. And I just truly feel like the mechanics in this game were so much fun. I remember, for some reason, maybe it's a fever dream, I remember this game just getting a lot of shit. Like, people were so upset at the way that it played. or at least like some legacy Guilty Gear dudes were like so upset at the way that it played. They said it was such a drastic difference from how XRD Rev 2 played, so it wasn't, you know, it wasn't good, it was trash. And I know that's like a thing with all fighting games. When a new one comes out, when Street Fighter 6 come out, Street Fighter 6 is bad, Street Fighter 5 is the best. When Street Fighter 5 came out, Street Fighter 5 sucks, Street Fighter 4 is the best, which, I mean, fair enough in that case, but like, it's like that with every fighting game, right? But I remember this game getting shit, and I've always thought, like, bro, this is a great fighting game. It did not deserve half the shit that it got. Now, it did have some problems when it came to the online lobbies that I directly experienced, and it was super annoying. So, like, that was definitely frustrating. It deserved the hate for that. I don't know why every fighting game that's coming out in the past, like, 7 years is like, yo, we have to have, like, this stupid fucking lobby with these stupid little characters that you run around with, and that's the only way you can find matches in our fighting game. So dumb. This one was, like, actually one of the worst ones, the worst offenders for that, along with Dragon Ball FighterZ. But this just got so much more shit for it. But yeah, Guilty Gear Strive did not deserve the shit that it got at all whatsoever, period. Outside of, like, at least when it comes to gameplay, art style, graphics, animations, like all of that, like the lobby system, whole different beast, right? But yeah, dudes, those are the fighting games that I think definitely did not deserve the hate, right? Oh shit, what's up, Ruthless? What's up, bro? Those are the fighting games that I definitely feel like did not deserve the hate. Street Fighter 6, Injustice 2, Guilty Gear Strive, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, bro. Those were some really good fighting games. Outside of, like, obviously the main complaints people have about them, Street Fighter 6 throw loops, Injustice 2, some of the zoning shit, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, everything outside of the gameplay, right? And really Guilty Gear Strive, like, everything outside of the lobby system, right? These were some damn good fighting games, and I just don't think they deserve all the hate that they got. Do I have Discord by chance? I do. Not really sure how to add somebody, like, or how it works anymore. I remember you used to just... My name's just Tootin'. I don't know how to get to it anymore. But yeah, we talked about what you posted on Twitter earlier in the stream, about the whole worst Waldo thing. I'm actually super excited for that chapter, dude. It got me watching Tokyo Ghoul. Damn. Bro. The fuck? Jesus. But yeah, dudes. Man, I love fighting games. I love talking about fighting games. I really hope this next chapter for DBD is super lit. Like, I really hope Tokyo Ghoul is, like, well designed and shit. I hope it gets me playing DBD, like, consistently again, because I just, like, none of the chapters that have come out have been, like, have had me, like, yo, I really want to play DBD right now. Like, they've been cool, like Dungeons and Dragons, bro. If I could take my camera to the living room, I have, like, a whole Dungeons and Dragons shelf. Sorry, I'm a little nasally, I'm sick. I have a whole Dungeons and D&D. I'm gonna say D&D because I'm having trouble with Dungeons and Dragons. I have a whole D&D shelf, bro, with, like, a box full of minis above it, like a bunch of different starter guides and everything. And I have my own group with my wife, my brother-in-law, and his girlfriend, and a couple of my other friends who were, like, on Discord for it. So, like, that should have been a big chapter for me, but, like, the way the game is designed, or at least the way the game was balanced at that specific point when that chapter came out, I tried playing it, and I was just like, dude, I can't, bro. I play one match after not playing for, like, a year, and I do halfway decent, and I'm already playing against people who are, like, there's, like, 3 P100s in my lobby, and it's like, fuck, dude. There is no fun to be had here. Virtua Fighter came and went. Fighter 5 came and went on the same day. Yeah, but they're doing Revo, right? Revo is coming out, what is it, this month, I think? I need another tab. See, we were actually talking about this. We actually, wasn't that. We were looking up the unknown thing. VF5 Revo. When is this shit coming out? It's only like $16 too. Yeah, it comes out January 27th. I kind of want to try it. I tried out Virtua Fighter 5, like the remake whenever it came out like a couple of years ago. I just didn't mesh well with it. Like there was a lot of confusing shit. It was like Tekken, but even more confusing than Tekken, right? Like Tekken's already confusing enough with like the 100 different fucking moves per character. And then like all of the different systems in VF, which are like 10 times more complicated, along with the terrible netcode, dude. I was just like, yikes. I might give Revo a shot. But I'm really just sitting back waiting on VF6 since it got announced. I'll really give the game a go, the series a go at that point. I don't know. We might give what comes with Revo? What is Revo? Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. Oh, it's just making its Steam debut. Rollback netcode. Finally! That fucking base VF5 remake netcode was rough, dog. Shit was horrible. So I guess that's like the big thing. Are they adding that? Is that new? I don't really know. I didn't play much. I still like Rams. Is Rams still making content, dude? I've you know, occasionally hear from him on Twitter. But like, is he still making content? How do I spell his names again? Rams TV. Where is this? Where is he? TB? There he is. Wait, was that me? What the fuck? When did I make that shit? Oh yeah, I got real. What kind of thumbnail? Me? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? What kind of thumbnail was that, dog? What the hell? What was I doing? I thought it was cool to get on a video with that hair too. Why does my intro look like crap? Lord have mercy, I uploaded that? Bro. What's wrong with me? Oh no, dude. Oh man. Oof. Look at that mustache, bro. 2008 ass video. Yo. Bro. I turned on my camera, picked up my microphone. And I was like, yeah, this is it. Put my fucking hair back when it was that long. I was like, yep, this is the one. This is the one, boys. What was I even talking about?
Hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you know when we go live.
Oh man,
on YouTube. And also don't forget to hit
the
like button. I don't know if I've said that yet. I think I said subscribe, but higher likes. And also don't forget to leave me a comment down below. This is specifically something I want to and
oh man, I switched backgrounds.
He said part of me feels like some of the YouTubers make fake leaks and make videos about them just to get views. Now that got taken way out of context by some people.
Oh man.
Not even the YouTubers themselves. Not me, not Rams, not anyone. That got taken out of context by people who view the videos. That got taken out of context by them.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much saying that the Thinny is saying that people like me and people like Rams make fake leaks and make.
Man, that was a big ass T-shirt I was wearing.
Now, one thing's for sure.
You can see my whole ass shoulder, bro. The fuck?
Time on my hands to do that. And you know, I posted on it. I said, you know,
the growth, right?
They'd be a lot more intricate than the bullshit.
I'm growing my hair back out, but that's it. I ain't growing that fucking mustache back out, dog.
Like straight up stupid, horrible spelling, and everything else.
Oh man,
second grade
the growth, bro. You can see through me. Look at that shit. You can see through my ass, dog. What the fuck?
I used to make videos about the really fake leaks. Now I make the videos about the really fake leaks because they're fucking hilarious.
Okay. All right. I'm dying of cringe. Why did I do that? I thought that was okay. I literally, bro, I sat down after I uploaded that and I was like, yeah, that's a banger. Oh, no. Anyway, back to Rams. What was the last thing he did? 5 months ago, dude. I know me and him dipped out like around the same time for Mortal Kombat. I guess he came back for a little bit. See, yeah, oh yeah, he still got the same style too. Yeah, apparently. No, actually it wasn't. It really wasn't. Oh, I wanna... He still got the same style of video, bro. Fucking camera down here, him looking down at it. I like Rams, bro. He's a good-hearted dude. He really is. Like, regardless of the content that Rams made, regardless of the content, how people feel about it, Rams was a really good dude. I talked to him, like, you know, we did a podcast together, right? I did, like, 1 episode, because I couldn't figure out, like, the technical side of it, and he didn't know either. But, like, I talked to him, like, on Twitter. I think we talked on Discord a little bit. You know, we were in each other's comment section. Like, regardless of what people thought about his content, he was a really good dude. He's sweet. He's a really sweet dude. He just didn't care, bro. I asked him. I think I asked him, like, before or after that podcast. I was like, bro, does it not bother you, like, all the hate that you get? He's like, no. He's like, I don't care. I was like, all right. Fair enough, dude. He just didn't give a fuck. No, it really was just a random point in the video. I didn't even make a fucking thumbnail for that. Bruh. What the hell? DBD X anime? Yeah. Tekken 8. Tekken 8 gets a little bit of hate, right? I mentioned Tekken 8 in that, like, video that we did. I didn't mention Tekken 8 because I'm not really too familiar with Tekken. I really just started playing Tekken with Tekken 8, and I just started doing that when Clav came out. So I'm not really educated enough to talk about Tekken 8. But based on what I played at a low rank, right? Based on what I played at a lower rank, I really enjoy it. But you really can't comment on something balance-wise or like gameplay design-wise when it comes to a fighting game. Really, unless you're playing in, like, the higher ranks, in my opinion. I'm not trying to take people's opinions away, but when it comes to a fighting game, especially, you really don't need to be speaking on the subject unless you played at a higher level of play in that fighting game. It would be like, me jumping on League of Legends or some shit, right? And, like, playing my first 2 games and being like, this character's really fucking stupid, they should change him, right? And it's like, that character's probably fine, it's probably trash, and I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and if they listen to me, then the game would be fucking whack, right? So yeah, I don't really comment on Tekken 8, but it does get, it gets hate, apparently, because, like, the 50-50 mix-ups are, like, crazy. And, like, crazy fast. And I have noticed that. Like, they do feel super fast for, like, 50-50 mix-ups. But at the same time, it's just a really fast fighting game. Like, it's no quicker than Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's quicker than Street Fighter 6, I would say. But, like, not quicker than MKX. And we all love those fighting games, right? We love Marvel. We love both Marvels, 3 and 2. And we love MKX. So, yeah. No, I am not a fan of MK1. It kind of had me brainwashed when it first came out. That it was fun. Let me go here. And also Kenshi had me brainwashed. Kenshi, for me, was the one... I wish I still had that intro. I lost that intro. Kenshi was the one fun character in Mortal Kombat 1 for me. Like, when the game came out, at least, he was so mechanically deep, right? He was so crazily mechanically deep. He was so complicated to play, but, like, if you actually, like, mastered him, or even got, like, not mastered, but, like, intermediate with him, like, you were doing some crazy-ass shit. So I was very brainwashed by that, but as soon as I got bored with Kenshi, I was like, whoa, this game is actually, like, boring as fuck. It feels awkward. Like, when it gets to the point where I'm using cameos outside of for pressure, because that's what I was using my cameo for at that point with Kenshi, was Cyrax, right? I was using Cyrax to, like, get that pressure, get my spirit out, and get to fucking putting them in the schmicks, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when I actually had to switch over from that, because I got bored with Kenshi, and I wanted to try some different characters. I was like, whoa, the assists do not work well in this game. They feel janky. This weird ass feels like it should be fast, but it's actually super slow. Gameplay is super funky. Like, what the fuck is this? This is like the worst feeling Mortal Kombat or NRS game I've ever played, right? It had me fooled, dude. It had Tom Brady fooled in the beginning too. Bro, it had me fooled. Shit had me fooled, like, straight up. As soon as I switched over to Scorpion. Because that, fucking, what was it? Mortal Kombat Deception skin came out. I was like, alright, I'm playing Scorpion. And I was immediately like, alright, I'm not having fun with this game anymore. And then I dipped out. And I came back, and because I also had problems with, like, finding matches online, right? Like, it would take me 2 hours to find a fucking match. And I was hardwired with fiber internet, getting a gig up and a gig down, right? And it was taking me legit, like, 2 hours to find a fucking match. And so that fed me up. I stopped playing because of that, too. And then I came back when Omni-Man came out, expecting him to be super dope. And he had, like, one fucking combo route. And his combo did, like, 32% damage. I'm like, nope. That's fucking lame. On top of the fucking fact that I still couldn't find a goddamn match. And we were at the first DLC character 2.5, 3 months in. It's like, nah, I'm out. So then I came back for another character. I can't remember. Wasn't Peacemaker. I came back for Homelander a little bit after he came out. Homelander was kind of fun because of, like, how complicated his pressure was and some of his combos. Or not his pressure, but some of his combos. They were kind of complicated, so it had me for like a couple of days, and then eventually I was like, I'm still doing the same combo over and over again. I'm bored. Now, Takeda, on the other hand, Takeda was actually legitimately fun. He was almost worth looking past how boring and janky and weird the game felt because of how much freedom of expression you have with Takeda, right? Like, you have, off of each combo starter, right, launcher, you had like 3 to 4, maybe even 5 different combos that you could go into that were all almost viable in the same way with the amount of damage they did, and like putting you in a plus position, right, for Oki. They were almost all viable in that aspect. So, like, I played some Takeda. Dude, he was fun. Ghostface is okay until they took that move away and they killed the character like that. But yeah, Conan also just looks whack. Conan looks straight up goofy. Like, let's go watch that teaser, dude, and look at these animations. Bro. It's not Arnold, right? It's not Arnold. He doesn't even look... I know it's like a fucking 720p fucking trailer, right? Upscaled to 1080p. But he just doesn't look good either. He just does not look good. Conan does not look good whatsoever. In the face, in the hair. His hair looks like fucking pixelated spaghetti. Pixelated black moldy spaghetti. The voice sounds weird. But the major problem is the animations, dude. What are these what is that, dude? Look at how fast he jumps. It's like they skipped frames, right? What? Motherfucker? Dude. What? It's like they skipped. Bro teleported, dog. Oh, Jesus. Like, look at it. Wee. Bro, it's so weird. Like, he could have used, like, another, like, 3 to 4 pre-jump animations to make that look good. And then it's, like, all of the other animations just look so generic and weird, bro. They look so generic and weird. It looks funky. For lack of a better word. Or expression. It just looks funky. And he's doing the same thing. You can already tell this is going to be such a limited character, right? You're going to be doing the same thing over and over again. If they're doing this in the trailer, right? He does the same thing 3 times. And it's just... it looks like it's different moves, right? But it's one bounces, that one bounces, it's meter burned, and then the other's a hard knockdown. He's doing the same thing, brother. Like, you can already tell he's going to be such a limited character, and it's so frustrating. I'm knocking shit over. It's so frustrating, right? Because, like, you hear all these rumors that, like, they didn't get enough funding. They were rushed. Mortal Kombat 1 in general was rushed, right? And you can, like, this was rushed. Dude, you cannot sit here and tell me that this doesn't look rushed. When it comes to how the character looks, he looks like clay, right? He doesn't look modeled very well. Like, look at the texture compared to Shao Kahn. Look at all the little, like, even in this terrible quality, look at all the little details on Shao Kahn. The skin, right? How crisp and clean it looks. The different little details, you know, and marks and shit. He looks like an action figure. He looks like a painted action figure. It just, like, in the animations, dude, it just looks rushed. It looks like they ran out of funding. They got rushed when it came to this character. I'm really worried about T2, bro, because I'm actually kind of excited for T2. Conan, I'm like give and take, right? I don't really give two shits about Conan, I'll be completely honest. But like T2, bro, I'm really excited for that. And if it looks anything like Conan, I am seriously concerned, because Conan looks like they ran out of funding and they ran out of time and they had to push him out. But they're on their time schedule, right? They announced the combat pack. They released Chaos Reigns, right, when they did. And they have a schedule that they usually follow and usually nail for the new characters when they come out. And so, like, they're not rushed, right? They weren't rushed. This is on their timetable. Unless, obviously, with MK1, it's a publisher thing. WB is shown to be, like, terrible when it comes to this. It's probably the reason MK1 is as bad as it is. It got pushed out 6 months early. So they could have made them push out Chaos Reigns early, but the story was done, right? Like, all that was done. Maybe they pushed it out as soon as the story was done and those 3 base characters were ready, but maybe it needed more time to cook, like another 2 or 3 months for, like, the guest characters that released. I don't know. I really don't know. But Conan looks rushed. And as far as we know on their timetable, he wasn't rushed. So it's alarming. I'm not really excited for Conan at all. If anything, I'm worried it's going to make the game worse, because it's just, you're going to be paying for a whole other character. If you don't have Chaos Reigns like me, you're going to pay for the character to be super disappointed and go even further away from MK1. Or it's going to be the people who paid for Chaos Reigns getting another shitty character in their combat pack, and it's like, fuck. And you know what makes it worse? It's a fucking guest character, dude. So here comes more guest character hate. You know, when it's not needed or necessary, but MK1 is projecting that guest characters are bad onto the fighting game world in a more worse way when they're not. But because they're releasing all of these terribly designed, boring-ass guest characters like Homelander, Omni-Man, and fucking looks like Conan now, right? Like, it's projecting that opinion. It's driving that opinion for people home that guest characters are bad, and they're not. Super frustrating. It's super frustrating for me, being someone who likes guest characters and think they help fighting games, because Mortal Kombat's over here shooting that ideology in the foot, right? Because they're making terrible guest characters and wasting slots, basically, for other good characters. It sucks, dude. It sucks. I don't know. I hope Conan's fun. I'm not holding my breath. I'm just really worried about T2. Did MK1 really die? Like, stop receiving support? According to, like, 3 different insiders, yes. According to 3 different insiders that the Thinny knows, yeah, because of how it wasn't the only reason, right? There were some other reasons that weren't listed, but one of the reasons, the one reason that got really listed, right, was that Chaos Reigns sold so poorly. That was one of the reasons they canceled it. So yeah, we were supposed to get not only Combat Pack 3, dude. Not only Combat Pack 3, we were supposed to get another story expansion. Or at least that was the leak, right? That was from the insider. Makes Injustice 2 look marvelous, bro. So, you got here in the middle of me recording that video, Nene. I hope I'm saying your name right. I've been saying your name. If I'm saying your name wrong, I've been saying it wrong for like fucking 3 years at this point, 4 years at this point. Because I remember you, dude. I remember you. You came in the middle of recording that video, fighting games that didn't deserve the hate, did not deserve the hate. Injustice 2 was my number one that didn't deserve the hate. Injustice 2 was a fantastic fighting game. It had its problems when it came out with the zoning and everything like that, right? It had its problems with that. Deadshot, Starfire had some super annoying zoning. There were some other zoners in the game that were super fucking annoying, but like the freedom of expression, the different combo routes, the exciting fast nature, when you got in, obviously, it was the start of the zoning problem in Mortal Kombat and the slow gameplay, but it was still pretty quick. So when you got in, it was super fun. The mix, everything else, the characters, the gear system, outside of like player matches, because the gear actually affected the gameplay in player matches, which was super stupid. Like just how it made your character look different, right? In that aspect of the gear, incredible, dude. Black Manta, oh my god, I mained Black. So my main, I was on the ranked leaderboard. I was in the top 100, top 50, playing Firestorm, right? But when Black Manta came out, I switched over to him, dude. Oh my god, one of the most fun fighting game characters I've ever played. His mix, his pressure, dude. Oh god, that character was so fucking cool. I loved him. I really think about Black Manta and Saul Bad Guy from Guilty Gear Strive, like on the same page. The pressure that they had, so much fun. Because I'm a pressure guy, right? Not really so much like Oki or anything like that. I'm not really too good at setups outside of just like frame traps for wake up, frame traps on Oki. But like pressuring you in like a stand up, you're blocking, I'm mixing you type way, like press a button. That's my favorite thing in a fighting game. And Black Manta was that, dude. And same with Saul Bad Guy in Guilty Gear Strive. That's a Jackie in MK11. The one redeeming feature of MK11 for me. Man, I made Swamp Thing, and let me tell you, he's not low tier. Bro, everybody said Swamp Thing was low tier for so long. And like you had people like coming out of the woodworks just smashing people with him. But 1 second, chat. I have to run to the bathroom real quick. So I'm going to turn my cam off, mute my mic. I'll be right back, Dukes. Don't go anywhere. We might play some MK1 for a little bit. Alright, dudes. I'm back. One sec. Ooh. Get comfy. Get comfy. Annoying ass chair. Do you have an opinion on the Fate MK channel? What is that? What's his name? I'll look it up. I remember Sonic Fox basically saying crowdfunding MK1 would be the way to go to bring it back, but bro, we just went on the money. Yeah, Sonic Fox is like one of the best Mortal Kombat players to ever live. He's really good at fighting games in general. He proved that with Dragon Ball FighterZ, but like Mortal Kombat, he just kind of owns it. But I mean, if we look back at it, bro, like MKX did so well with crowdfunding. They funded a lot of the tournaments, like official tournaments with like crowdfunded specific skins. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. Well, I have an idea of why they don't do that anymore. It's because WB has completely crashed in everything that they've tried to do, right? Like every game that they put out now is complete trash. And they're just basically losing money, like funneling money down the toilet, bro. So they don't do crowdfunding because every bit of money that's spent on the game probably has to go back into WB, you know? I really would not be surprised, bro. I would not be surprised if Mortal Kombat dies for a little bit until like another publisher picks it up because of how bad WB is doing right now. Yo, what's up, Spider? How you doing, brother? I would not be surprised if we did not, like, MK1 was the last Mortal Kombat for, like, the next 8 to 9 years. It's a scary thought. I would not be surprised. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, right? But I wouldn't be surprised. Because it really is. Mortal Kombat 1 feels like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite in that aspect. A lot of people don't like anything to do with the game, right? A lot of people don't like the story. They don't like the designs of the characters. They got rid of Hanzo Hasashi as Scorpion, right? Like, look at that when it comes to the cast, right? What was one of the biggest problems with the MVCI for a lot of people? It was the cast, right? Nobody liked the Marvel side of the cast. It was all MCU bullshit, right? Like, if they weren't in the MCU, they weren't there. We didn't get X-Men. The story was atrocious. Mortal Kombat 1 for a lot of people, even though I liked it, right? The one big difference there is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was actually super fun to play. Like I said, super fucking fun to play. One of the most fun Marvel vs. Capcoms in my opinion. It was just so fun. So that's the big difference there. The lack of game modes, like even MVCI had like an online lobby system, right? It had online lobbies. Mortal Kombat 1 doesn't have that a year and a half into development, a year and a half into its life cycle, and we're never going to get it, right? We're not getting that shit. MK11 had it, Injustice 2 had it, Injustice 1 had it, MKX had it. It's the first NRS game besides MK9 that I think does not have it. It's crazy, right? So yeah, I think we could be heading into the dark age of Mortal Kombat, and that sucks, dude. That sucks because even back in the dark ages, right, we were still getting like, we went from UMVC 3 to MK4, which was trash, in my opinion. We had some bad games, but then we eventually got Deception, Armageddon, and Deadly Alliance, which were like dope. They weren't Mortal Kombat 2D fighters. They were 3D fighters. But like we went straight from that. I think Armageddon came out in what? Armageddon came out in 2006. We had a Dark Age for like 4 years. 5 years. We had a 5-year Dark Age. We could be looking at that again. And that was because Midway went, well, no, we had MK versus DC that came out in 2008. So it was like a 3-year Dark Age because Midway went under, right? We could be looking at that again. Like, WB's so big, maybe not. Like, I don't see them going under, like, Midway. But, like, not being able to afford another Mortal Kombat, dude, so we just don't get one. Yeah, we're going to be like 40, dude. I'm 26. If we don't get another Mortal Kombat for 8 years, I will be halfway to 40. I'm about to turn 27. So, like, by the time we are supposed to get one, which would probably be, like, around, like, 2026, I would say, If we don't get another Mortal Kombat from 2026, which I'll be 28 for 8 years, I'll be like 35, 36, dude. It's crazy. Just woke up, have a bad headache, but I'll be fine. How are you doing? How's stream going? Pretty good. Had some good conversations so far. Some designs sucked, but Reptile, Katana, Takeda, Quan Chi look great. I've never liked Quan Chi's design in general. I will say he looks the best in MK1. Reptile, yeah, looks sick. Katana looks great. Melina looks great, I think. I think it's more of like the story, the lore design, right? Because Raiden isn't Raiden. Hangzhou isn't Hangzhou. Scorpion isn't Scorpion. Scorpion's Kuai Liang, who is actually Sub-Zero, supposed to be. So it's more like designs as far as that goes, right? It's annoying. But who's that Fate YouTube channel you were talking about? Fate MK Mortal Kombat 1? Fuck. This dude? Is this who you're talking about? He's a nutcase? Really? What video should I watch? Bro, how many videos did he put out about the same thing? Which one should I watch? I actually had this video pop up for me a few days ago. I didn't click on it. I didn't know who the fuck it was. People hate on him for his takes. He's talking about a lot of different fighting games, which is kind of cool. Jesus, what a thumbnail. Oh, bro, for real? What the fuck? What kind of shit is this?
Alright. This speaks to a larger problem when it comes to guest characters, right, in fighting games. And over here, our favourite Salty Locks is saying this about Clive Rossfield. This is easily the coolest character I have seen in a game yet, and I will be hard maining him. I'm sure you will. In probably more ways.
I bet he thought that was fucking hilarious, dude. I bet that little look away right there was like, bro, that was the funniest thing I've ever said in my fucking life.
Right, we know you want that meat.
Brother.
And the real issue here is that the meat, right, when it comes to these fighting games, it seems these days, is what guest characters show up. They have conditioned the younger generation of fighting game fans to be excited more for what possible guest characters are going to be in the game.
Oh, so he's a lore master.
So I think it should have been Tifa, but
here's the thing, dude. You're already objectively wrong because it's not the newer generation of fighting game players. I mean, maybe you would consider me newer generation of fighting game players, right? Like, I've been playing fighting games for only 10 years since, really playing fighting games since MKX. Although I've been playing fighting games since I was a small child. I wasn't playing fighting games, like, in the same aspect of, like, competitively taking them serious, learning, like, the deeper mechanics, getting to, like, higher ranks, whatever. You can call me newer generation, but, like, Maximilian, dude, like, the granddaddy of fighting game content on social media in general, thinks guest characters are extremely good for the game, and a lot of people agree with him, right? A lot of people agree with him. So I think that's just an invalid opinion. Like, you're cool to have whatever opinion you want, but it is objectively true that guest characters have helped fighting games in more ways than any other thing a fighting game developer has tried to do. Guest characters have objectively brought in more people to these fighting games than anything else ever has. Jason, Predator, Alien, Leatherface, and MKX brought so many fucking people in, dude. Same with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Injustice 2. Sub-Zero being in Injustice 2, it's a crossover within the same developer, but it brought a lot of Mortal Kombat players over to Injustice, right? Same with Scorpion in Injustice 1, right? Guest characters in MK11 like Spawn. Dude, Spawn brought me back to MK11. Like, it's just objectively true that guest characters help fighting games. Now, you're cool to think that we have too many. Maybe Mortal Kombat and Injustice having like 3 fucking guest characters per combat pack, per fighter pack, maybe isn't the wave, right? Maybe like 2 per. Maybe there's too many, but like Tekken's doing it right. They have 1 guest character so far, right? Street Fighter, they have 2 guest characters that have been announced, but they're guest characters from SNK, which calls back to one of the greatest crossover fighting games ever, which is Capcom versus SNK, right? We're getting Mai, and we got Terry. So yeah, I just think you're objectively wrong. Guest characters are meant to capture everyone's attention. Exactly. To pull players in of any demographic. And yeah, I mean, even like right here with Final Fantasy 16, would I have rather had Tifa? Absolutely, dude. Final Fantasy 7, I named my daughter Aerith. My wife and I named our daughter Aerith. Bro, we love Final Fantasy 7. Would I have rather had Tifa? Sure. Is Clive a lot of fucking fun? Yeah, hell yeah, right? Did this pull in? Did Tekken 8 getting Clive Rossfield in the game, is that pulling in a shit ton of Final Fantasy 16 fans? Absolutely. Is it pulling in a shit ton of Final Fantasy fans in general? Even the people who really didn't care for 16 because of like the story and shit? Absolutely. You know why? Because, you know, Clive was the best part of 16. So like, it objectively helps games. Yeah, like Fortnite blew up. Like, say what you will about Fortnite, dog, but Fortnite blew up because of the crossovers, because of the guests, you know, guest skins, whatever. Fucking Cell, Juice WRLD, the Marvel, X-Men, Fantastic Four, shit like that. Chun-Li. Yeah, I know it's stupid because some kids think that Chun-Li, like, they're like, hey man, have you played Chun-Li from Fortnite? It's like, you stupid little shit. Chun-Li's from Street Fighter. But like, regardless, right? And even that, bro, the crossover with Street Fighter into Fortnite brought so many of those kids into Street Fighter, dude. Like, no, you can't see the demographics and, like, the actual statistics for who came from where. But, like, Street Fighter 6 had record-breaking EVO entrants, dog. Like, record-breaking, you know? I think I would tolerate guest characters more if they were from different games rather than pop culture or whatever, besides Spawn. Yeah, put them in every MK. Like, other fighting games specifically as well. I mean, I can't really sit back and say that that's like my favorite type of crossover because obviously my favorite fighting game ever, or at least top 1 tied with MVC2, is MKX, and it's really because of the guest characters. The guest characters in the gameplay made that game for me. I loved all of them. You literally got into Fortnite because of Sakura SF Alpha. Oh yeah, Sakura. I love Sakura. And Zero build mode. Sakura skin. Yeah. Always wanted a AAA Terror Drone game. Exactly, bro. That shit would go hard. Have NRS develop a fucking Terror Drone game. That could be their next game. That saves WB and NRS. But let's see what the rest of this guys. Let's see what. Yeah.
Basically, I'd much rather Tifa show up in another fighting game rather than Tekken 8, which seems to be just
also
not really
Tekken 8 hater.
doing or following its own doctrine. I mean, Harada, I think, said a while ago, did he not, about not having guest characters in the character classes, right? Not even bothering with guest characters until they figured out the roster. I mean, nobody asked for Clive, right? And Sonic Fox has a favorite every other day ending in Y, but it speaks to a larger
Don't we all as
issue
fighting
here
game players?
when it comes to, you know, where fighting games are going, which is why I think Virtual Fighter is hopefully going to...
Where are fighting games going, right? Where does this guy think fighting games are going? Because we're like in another golden age for fighting games, dude. No, we haven't gotten new entries in Marvel vs. Capcom or Capcom vs. SNK, but the fact that those games are coming back in collections, well, Marvel vs. Capcom already did, that's insane, dude. We never thought that was going to happen. We thought after MVCI, Marvel had cut ties with Capcom because of how poorly it did. We were never getting another Marvel vs. Capcom. And now, or getting Marvel vs. Capcom 2 like on the market to where you could purchase it again, right? We haven't been able to do that since the 360 days. So like that happening, Street Fighter 6 is an incredible game. Tekken 8's a lot of fun. Guilty Gear Strive was a fun fucking game. The only real letdown as far as fighting game goes has been NRS fighting games. Like outside of that, we are in a golden age of fighting games.
More ways than one, right? Now, I don't know if Virtua Fighter has any plans for DLC characters in terms of guests. I don't know. We don't really know much about what's coming up with the new Virtua Fighter, really, apart from them just basically making it as grounded still as possible.
Yeah, I'm excited for VF6.
It is the grandfather of 3D fighting games, and therefore, you know, it would be their game to lose if they decide to radically change things to try and appease a modern audience. But when we have seen companies like NetherRealm and with Harada's team with Tekken try and reinvigorate or reinvent the wheel, it fails, right?
Isn't Tekken 8 like one of the most popular Tekkens? Like, I know Tekken 8's getting some hate recently, but like, didn't everybody love Tekken 8 when it came out? Like, saying it was better than 7 and everything else? Because 7 was like a more defensive focused fighting game. It was kind of like not... Tekken's never really been like boring, right? But it was more boring compared to other Tekken entries. Kind of like MK11 compared to MKX. And then Tekken 8 was kind of like back to MKX. Am I wrong? Like, I don't know. I remember people saying they love Tekken 8, bro. I was actually in a pretty financial hard spot when Tekken 8 came out, so I didn't get to play it, right? I didn't get to play it when it came out. I've just gotten to play it recently, right? So I can't comment too hard, but I remember a lot of people saying that they loved the game when it came out, and like they continue to. It's getting a little bit more shit like now for some reason. I don't know.
Why some other fighting games out there are able to maintain its legacy like Street Fighter 6, right? And thus far, Virtua Fighter retain their legacy, not compromise it at all, not put in any little gimmicks to make it more exciting to watch. Just give the fans what they want, and hopefully thereby creating new fans because of the strength and the stability and the good foundation that they've already built with their game. That's what really brings in fans, not guest characters or any of that sort of rubbish. Nobody asked for this guy, and he's Noctis. He's basically Noctis, right? Just another Final Fantasy sword wielding type character archetype, you know, and it's just a, you know, I would have preferred, to be honest, just to have another Tekken character, but if you had to have a guest character, I thought Tifa would have been a perfect fit considering her fighting style. She's also sexy.
Yeah, I was literally, dude. Oh my god, I was literally about to say the only reason you want Tifa is because she, you know, you think she's hot because you're horny, right? I was literally about to say that, and then he said, "Oh, and she's sexy." And it's like, bro, come on, dude. I was literally about to pause it and be like, "Yeah, because you're horny." Literally took the words out of my mouth. Feel like Tekken 8 has been more successful than not. Exactly. Oh, fuck. I muted it. Oops.
Are going to get... You're going to attract more people into the game. If their goal is to try and get more people into the game, then why did you choose it from a game that didn't do the greatest? I mean, let's be honest. Like it's decent, but it's not... It's
Hold on.
not setting...
Real quick. Sales. Sales numbers. 3 million copies within the first week on PlayStation 5. Let's go to Steam real quick. Oh, you couldn't really see that, so put it right there. 3 million copies, right? FF16. Let's see. 11,000 reviews for all reviews. How many people are playing it right now? 5,260 people playing it, and it came out. When did it come out? It came out September 17th, so it's still pretty popular on PC. This was November 16th. They sold likely below what they were expecting, but that's still like another 300,000 sales, which isn't bad, I would say. So I mean, yeah, it didn't perform like insanely well, but like people still enjoyed the game. It has all positive reviews on Steam. Yeah.
The world on fire.
What is this doing? Come on now. Thank you.
Literally. Right? Final Fantasy VII does that. When they talk about Final Fantasy VII, everyone goes nuts. There's a reason for that. Of all the characters in Final Fantasy VII, you ignored all of them. And this is the same thing that what had happened with Tekken 7 when you put Noctis in from Final Fantasy 15. Right?
It's the most current Final Fantasy.
These characters
I mean, yeah, rebirth and remaking
Final
shit, but
Fantasy
still.
Games which aren't really doing a whole bunch. Like they're not really grabbing the world by the short and curlies and going, hey, you know, I'm awesome. Right? So it's sort of it's almost like they're afraid to give fans what people really want. If they put Tifa in there, for example, maybe even you can even argue you could put Cloud. If you really needed to have, you know, another sword wielder, you could have had Cloud in there, right? And then in another season pass, you could have had Tifa in there, you know, if you wanted to. But it's just, you know, and I've been seeing a lot of comments, right? You know, and somebody called it Tech Caliber, right? Because this is where it's like, this is what somebody's or some people's first thoughts when they see this guy in there, right?
Except for the fact that Soul Calibur,
it's like
6 and 5 was just not good, and 6 was decent. Still had a lot of the same problems that 5 had, but it looked terrible. And like Tekken 8 is actually a fun game, like actually like super fun. Most of the characters are enjoyable and interesting from what I've played of the different characters, right? So it's kind of a weird comparison outside of the fact that both of them have guest characters from like different games. Yeah,
it's like Tekken forgot its grounded combat roots in favor.
Tekken
of Flash.
has never been grounded. Oh my god. Tekken has never been a grounded fighting game. That has always been Virtua Fighter. I hate this argument when it comes to Tekken, bro. I hate this argument. Because you can tell they didn't play Tekken. Right? They just didn't play Tekken. Tekken has never been a grounded fighting game. That has always been Virtua Fighter. That has always been Virtua Fighter.
And what would they say, wanting to have it so newbies could defeat pro players? That's not how it works. Right? The reason why
that's still not how it works.
Whether they be competitive or just simply great at the game, have gotten to whatever level they've gotten to is because of experience and skill, right? And the reason why we have a ranking system, you know, or in general like matchmaking to people of your similar ability, is so that way you can get used to that rank, get used to that comfortability, and then start to push yourself beyond that when people start pushing you. That's why we need it. That's why you need to have that sort of thing. So it's really, they just, again, I said this yesterday, they've just lost their way, and it's so disappointing. Tekken 8 was shaping up to be amazing. And people go, oh, but the stage looks great. Yeah, I don't buy a fighting game to play the stage. I buy a fighting game because the characters are the main centerpiece. The next piece that needs to back it up are the stages, as well as, of course, depending on the game, the story, right? So you could argue there's essentially a trinity here that needs to occur for me and a lot of other people to make a fighting game something really good. Solid story, solid characters, solid stages, right? And so
MK does have the best guests, yeah.
Like, so what? Right? How broken is he gonna be? Right? I remember fighting Noctis in Tekken 7.
It's not really too broken. He's fun.
Right?
It's not really
Zip all over the
broken.
place and shit like that, and it doesn't feel like Tekken. That's why I didn't like Akuma for being in Tekken. I understand because of demons and shit, but having him throw fireballs shouldn't have been in it, right? You could have taken that out and done something different, I suppose, but I just
kind of breaks who the character is, though, right? Like, Street Fighter is Tatsus, Hadoukens, and Shoryukens. Doesn't feel like Tekken. Yeah. Has he ever played Yoshimitsu? You know? That original Tekken character that's been in Tekken for, like, ever?
It's just that it's like they're trying to, you know, are they trying to get people excited for Final Fantasy 16? You know? It's done.
I've been blocking his face this whole time, chat. Jesus.
Like, 16's over. Nobody gives a shit anymore, right? It wasn't that big of a cultural impact, Final Fantasy, that you thought that this was a good idea to put him in there, right? Easily Tifa, or, you know, you could argue you could have pulled the guy Ryo from Shenmue if you wanted to. You could have pulled Kiru from Yakuza. You could have pulled...
Why would they pull the guy from Shenmue, a game that hasn't gotten a sequel in, like, how many years? Six years at this point? And it wasn't even that good?
I mean, you could have pulled a Virtual Fighter character, maybe, right? But no, you go with essentially a character that nobody really cared for or even asked for to show up in this game, right? And the reason why I mentioned with this guy is because this is the audience that they're catering to. This is the, oh, what guest are we gonna get, right? That's the sad part. That's where we're at, right? And it's sort of like one of the last great hopes that we have, possibly to try and steady the ship of this ridiculousness, is Virtual Fighter. Mortal Kombat fails. It's been failing for years, right? Street Fighter 6 is still going strong, right?
Yeah.
But Street Fighter 6 kind of hasn't grabbed me by the short and curlies yet. Maybe it's just I haven't found a character outside of Ryu that I overly care for. But, you know, it's like Street Fighter 6 is solid. It's doing really well. I don't really have any problems with that, apart from, say, their outfit prices and stuff seem really expensive. And I don't care for their season pass, like their battle pass shit, which is just for your avatar, you know, which is...
I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
You know, if you never ever see your avatar, then it's almost like a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, if you're massively, like, spending a massive amount of time running around World Tour or running around in the battle lobby, sure, I guess, but
don't flash
you know,
me.
Why aren't they using that battle pass to maybe have an outfit at the end of each one unlocked for one of the characters, you know, or give you a huge bunch of currency that you can spend towards the characters, right? Like, it's just weird.
This video is
you
all
know?
over the place.
And the fact that he is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna main a guest character out of the 30 plus characters that they already...
Oh my god. He's gonna main a guest character in a video game, in a fighting game where that guest character is a fighting game character. He's gonna main him. Oh my god, that son of a bitch. Sorry.
already have in the game. His only excitement seems to be is a guest character, meaning a non-Tekken related character. And as far as I'm concerned, if that's the case, then you have failed in your game.
Why?
Right? So, anyway, guys.
Why have you
catch
failed?
you next time.
Why? That's what I don't understand. Like, a lot of the guest character haters, right? Outside of you, Spider, I love you, okay? I love you. A lot of the guest character haters are literally just like, guest characters bad, and never explain why. Why are guest characters bad? What is the fallback, blowback of guest characters? Like, what's the real problem with them? Because I only see positives. Guest characters bring people into the game. 9 times out of 10, they're forced to have like a lot of effort put into them. So like, they're fun. And outside of Mortal Kombat 1, we should get outside of that game, they're usually a lot of fun. I just don't see what the problem is, right? Like, yeah, they take slots away from original characters, but most of you lore masters, bro, you're wanting like the 1 or 2 obscure fucking characters from the game 20 fucking years ago that nobody even really cared for and you never touched back then, right? It's like all of the dudes who played Third Strike and they want who was that motherfucker, right? Third Strike. Characters. No, it wasn't Necro. Was it Necro? Oh, let's see. Remy. It's like all the motherfuckers in the Street Fighter community who are like, bro, I want Remy back, dude. He was so fun in Third Strike. It's like, you never played Remy. He was so bad. You never played him. Ever. Dude, stop lying. Stop fucking lying. But they want the one fucking obscure character like Kira or Cobra from Mortal Kombat. Like, why did we get Homelander and Omni-Man when we could have got Cobra and Kira, dude? Like, bro, shut up. You never played those characters. You never liked them. They were bad. You're just a lore master, dude. You don't want what's best for the fighting game. I don't know. Is there anything else? Jesus, what a... It just seems like rage bait, right? It just seems like rage bait. Like, if you immediately lost me. Like, I share some of the opinions that you talked about with Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat as a franchise in general, and like the design of like the battle pass in Street Fighter. Definitely, I hard agree with that. But you already lost me when you're like doing this shit in your thumbnail, right? And that type of shit, dog. You lost me. You lost me. Oh man, he went after Max. Cobra went hard. I don't know, man. Cobra over.
All right.
I mean, that's one thing I will agree with. Like, it does seem like a lot of the bigger content creators are kind of like, I know they're not scared to say anything. When it comes to Max specifically, I will say, the dude, I've watched him since I've been playing fighting games. He's who got me into fighting games, right? I don't think this is the case with Max. He just likes to keep shit positive, right? He's not getting free shit sent to him by WB or NRS, and he's made it very abundantly clear that he doesn't like Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 11, or Injustice 2. He's barely played them. He's made that abundantly clear, but he just likes to keep shit positive. So I disagree with that, but like Uncaged and History Behind the Warrior and like Caboose, not to talk shit or anything, but they definitely, I've seen them get like the care packages and shit, and they never say really a bad word about the games, you know. It's a little off-putting, really. Like, honestly, it's a little off-putting. Oh. This guy just looks angry. He looks like he needs to lighten the fuck up, dude. Genuinely surprised you never heard of this dude. He speaks with like 20% of the community. Like shit like this. Like that thumbnail, bro. Like regardless of my opinion on the matter, that's just like, bro, it's hateful, you know? Went after Max. Who else did he go after? Obviously, Max doesn't give a fuck, dude. He probably didn't see the video. No idea who this guy is. Does not care, even if he did see the video. He beefed with Brusque and everything. I haven't seen a Brusque video pop up in years. I think it's just... See, you're just an asshole, right? You're just an asshole calling people names and shit. The fighting game has always been like... The fighting game community has always been a community of like... people who are friends. Yeah, like we talk shit to each other while we're playing the game. But we've always been like an open community because we're all a bunch of fucking nerds, right? You don't see the Fortnite community sitting down to like fucking learn frame data, like how many frames something is, how many frames I have to react to it. We're all a bunch of super nerds. And you're just out here being a fucking dickhead, right? Like you're a middle school bully, dude. You're a middle school bully. And you're also like 40 something, right? And you're acting like a teenager on the internet. It's crazy. It's wild, honestly. How many subscribers does he have? 5,000? He's getting a whole lot of views for like 5,000 subscribers. I mean, I guess it is like all rage bait for the most part. I haven't seen like a positive video. I mean, I guess debatably. He does like Strive. Go to your Strive's a good game. Character select screen review. Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure that's a slur. What kind of thumbnail is that, dog? Oh, there we go. He went after Fourth Snake. I admittedly don't like Fourth Snake very much. Don't really have a problem with him. His demeanor was just kind of always off-putting. But, man, just going out of your way to call these people out. I mean, yeah, I just made a video about True Underdog, but he literally called me dumb, you know? Like, he directed it at everybody who had a problem with, like, specific things in MK for the specific reasons that he listed, and those were definitely, like, some of my reasoning, so I got called dumb directly. So I was like, fuck that, bro. Let me explain why you're factually wrong. Jesus, dude. Jesus, dude. Jesus, dude. What the fuck? Brother. I'm flabbergasted. Yeah, a lot of people are calling out True Underdog because of that video. I think it's justified. I don't hate True Underdog. I don't even really dislike the guy. I'm kind of just like neutral. But you can't go around calling people dumb when your opinion is not factual and actually kind of wrong, because you're presenting it as fact. Therefore, your opinion can be wrong if you try to present it as facts, and it just wasn't true. Jesus, bro. My man is really... And this is the thing, right? Like, here's the thing about this. What he is doing is the best way to grow on YouTube in today's atmosphere of doing content creation. Rage bait, being super controversial, since I started doing YouTube 4 years ago, has been the best way to grow. I was guilty of it at first, right? I was doing a lot of rage bait shit. I was angry all the time. All my videos were constantly negative, right? 100% never put out a positive video. I was always talking shit. I wasn't going this far, but I'm sure he's smart enough to realize this, and this is why he's doing it. This is the easiest way to get big. The big downfall is that when you have a very low ceiling of growing, because eventually you're gonna run out of hateful people in the fighting game community to subscribe to you. You might have all of them, but you're gonna hit your ceiling at like 20,000 subscribers, right? 30,000 subscribers, and no one else is gonna care, dude. It's the big downfall of doing hateful content in a community like this. It's so small, it's so niche, it's so tight-knit. You're not gonna get a whole lot of subscribers. You're gonna have like all the hateful people in the community, dude, and that's gonna be it. Why do you think Max is so big? He's so positive. You know, obviously he's the granddaddy. He started when no one else was doing it. He was doing shit that nobody else was doing, working with Capcom, so he got super big. But he continues doing that. He keeps that momentum because of how positive and like how good of a dude he is, or at least presents himself to be, right? You're presenting yourself as an asshole. You seem like an asshole, and you're only going to go so far being an asshole. It's unfortunate. People are killing their careers with making content before they even start. Sucks. Yeah, Max is also incredibly honest and his opinions can't be bought. This guy's talking shit about like specific YouTubers being bought, like Uncaged and you know, History Behind the Warrior, probably True Underdog. He probably talks about that here in those videos. He talked about it with Max, but people like this will be the first person to take a paid sponsorship from NetherRealm Studios if he was ever offered. He will never be, because of how he is on here. Sponsors will not want to work with him, period. Right? Because of some of the shit that he posts. Some of his thumbnails. Killing his career before it even starts. But yeah, like, he would be the first one to accept a paid sponsorship deal. And do nothing but talk positive about it. Absolutely. He put out that Tekken 8 video, but if Harada reached out, right, and was like, hey, Fate, bro, I'm going to pay you like $500 to play Clive in a video and say nothing but good shit, he'd be like, hell yeah, I'm down. That's a lot of assuming right there. That's a lot of assumptions, but that's just kind of like the attitude he puts off. Seems very jealous, right? Very jealous. I get it, bro. I get it. But at the same time, damn. This rage bait shit, you're only going to go so far, homie. It's tragic. Killing your career before it starts. Killing your career before it starts. Oh, he's been at 4 or 5K for a year, yeah. It's rough. It's rough. Yeah. I don't know. I've been kind of negative in like some of my more recent videos, especially like I need to stop talking about Dead by Daylight Balance and Mortal Kombat 1. Because that was a negative video. This was a negative video. That was a negative video. That was a positive video in the aspect of I was defending a lot of people in the community, but I was also talking shit about Mortal Kombat. That was kind of negative because DBD Mobile was killed by NetEase. That was a positive video because I was responding to a negative video. Positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, positive for the video game. Positives, negative, negative, kind of negative because I think Dead by Daylight is having like a leaker problem right now. Positive, negative, 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 positive, negative. I need to stop being so negative in some of my videos. I have very honest opinions, right? Like, I really don't sugarcoat what I say, but I try to say it in a very respectful manner for the most part, right? If I feel like shit is like bad in the video game that I play or in the franchise that I love, you know, I love Dead by Daylight. I love it so much. It's one of the only games out there like it, right? There's nothing else out there like Dead by Daylight that has... Sorry, chat. I keep fucking up. Jesus. There's nothing else out there like Dead by Daylight. It's the same with Mortal Kombat, right? Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat. There isn't another Mortal Kombat. Yeah, there's other fighting games, but there's not other Mortal Kombats, right? It's its own thing. So, like, I'm very passionate about Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm Studios. I'm very passionate about Dead by Daylight. Like, I want them to be better. I want them to do better. I want them to succeed. And I feel like nothing ever gets better. Nothing that is bad ever gets better just by saying, oh, it's fun. You know, like, they're trying, it's fun. Or not listing, like, specific problems that the game has or the situation has, right? Like, you need to give criticism. That's how shit gets better, right? But I try not to be, like, mean about it, right? I try not to be, like, super mean about it because there's no point in that. There's absolutely no point in that. Your inputs on MK are always intriguing. I appreciate it. The truth is that there are things I don't like about MK11, or MK1, sorry, and there are things that I do like in MK1, so to be fair, there are definitely things in MK1 I like. Now, I was super negative about MK11, because MK11, I truly feel like, is one of the worst fighting games ever made. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I feel like MK11 is worse than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. The reason it didn't do as bad is because there's a lot of content, a lot of the characters, you know, are pretty faithful to how they've always been. The guest characters were pretty cool. I will say Spawn, right? The story was a story. It's a big old story. It had a lot of different game modes. Like, it had a lot of content. It was very also casual in the gameplay design. And so it pulled in a lot of casual players because it was easier to do better in that game. And that was one of my major problems with it. It had so many comeback mechanics, so many weird defensive mechanics, right? With fatal blows, crushing blows, the roll wake-ups, the defensive meter on offensive meter in general. I truly feel like it's one of the worst fighting games ever made. Worse than MBCI. Gameplay-wise, at least, I guess. But, you know, like, MK1 is 10 times better than that, right? It's super weird. It feels super weird to play. It feels more weird than MK11, right? But it has more enjoyable aspects than MK11 ever had. Yo, Torn and Salem, thank you. Yeah, MK1 absolutely had way too many microtransactions. That was the thing. And I talked about that in my my video that I put out today, I think. Yeah, today. Responding to True Underdog. He talked about, like, the skins, like MK1 having more skins than MK11 has at this point, right? Sure. Fun. Fair. In MK11, did you have to pay... When the skins first started coming out, they were $10 to $12, dude. Did you have to pay $10 to $12 per skin? My brother? You know, in MK11, no. They had packs of skins that were less than that. You're paying for one skin, that much for one fucking skin in MK1. I think they lowered it to like $5 to $7, $8. But even then, that's ridiculous. I think I paid for the Halloween pack in MK11. I don't remember if it was on sale or not. I think I paid like $7 or $8 for 4 skins. What was the movie pack? What was the price of that? Wasn't it like $8 or $9, $10 for like all of those skins? And they were like, they had the original like actors, bro. And they were completely modeled. Like, they were awesome. $5 for that pack, bro? $9? That's my thing, dude. And we're paying more than that. We're paying way more than that for one skin, dog. That's crazy. The fuck were they thinking? Yeah, you have every right as a consumer. I don't like to be like I don't like want to end up like that dude we were just watching, right? Like, it's so easy to go down that path in content creation when you're first starting out, especially in a saturated era like this for content creation, of like just being negative, being mean, calling everybody out for anything, right? Even people that you like outside of content creation, making your content like Max and shit. Like, you're even calling the people that you like out, dog. Like, it's so easy to go down that route because you get views, right? People are clicking on it because it's clickbait. It's interesting. Like, people want to see why you're hating, dog. But there's a ceiling, dude. It's the Garden of Eden apple. Dog, it's the Garden of Eden apple. You take a bite of that motherfucker, you get views, yeah, but nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. You have a very small sector of, like, a cult following of fucking douchebags, right? Who like you. But as soon as you say something positive on something that they don't like you either. Like, nobody likes you. It's crazy. It's a path, bro. It's a path. Like, I've recorded this whole section. I don't know if I'll even put it out because I just don't want to start shit. Yeah, I might. I don't know. I might wake up one day. I'm like, I want to be spashy today. Throw that bitch out. I don't know. Comp seeing is dead. Invasion mode. Yeah, everything's dead for it, bro. Like, let's Twitch. Let's see. Should have it pulled up. Yeah. It's got 492 viewers, dog. Let's see. Tekken 8. Tekken 8. Oh, shit. Tekken 8 only has 2,000, but that's still, what, 4 times the amount that Mortal Kombat 1 has? I think Street Fighter has 6.2. I mean, this is New Year's Day on a Wednesday at 11:51 at night. Yeah. Yikes. Comp Sync's dead. What was the last big tournament you heard for Mortal Kombat 1? Didn't Mortal Kombat 1 at EVO, the year it came out, only have like 600 entrants, something like that, compared to the 6,000 that Street Fighter 6 had? Something like that. Invasion mode was terrible. And that was my thing in the True Underdog video, dude. He was like, this is so much better than Towers and so much better than everything else. And he had talked about the definition of insanity before that. And it's like, bro, who's even streaming MK1? Let's look. I didn't recognize. Well, okay, Rewind's live, it looks like. I know Rewind. That's it. Literally the only person is Rewind. This guy's streaming MK1 playing GTA 5. What? When he said it was better than the 300 challenge tower from MK9, bro. what really got me in that video that blew my mind, where I tried my best not to be an asshole and like say some dumb shit, bro, because I got that dog in me. You know what I'm saying? Of like, when you say something really stupid, I'm gonna make fun of you a little bit. It was when he said that the crypt in MK1 shouldn't actually be considered content because everybody was done with it a month in. I was like, my brother. Yeah, bro, playing the system. He's streaming a different game. Street Fighter 6. It's been popping since it came out, though. Momochi's on. IDOM's on. Knuckle Dew's on. Spooky's on. Tampa Never Sleeps is doing a tournament. Dudes who have been playing the game since it come out are still playing the game and doing very well. Not sure who this is. Is this a newer dude to the community? I don't think I've seen him before. Is he like blowing up recently? He plays for Team Liquid, so he must be. I just don't think I've heard of him. But yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, I might be spicing up that video. We'll see. We'll see. I just don't really want to upload one too close to this one like that, because I don't want people to think that I'm just calling everybody out, right? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be what I am making fun of, even if it is in a more positive light, right? But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Oh no, I've already got a defender in there. We'll see. I'll check on that after stream. Anyways, Dukes, I still have family over, so I wanted to get on here and talk to you, Dukes, about these couple of things because they were very interesting. I wanted to talk about that Max video, which was super fun to talk about because he was talking about the games that deserved the criticism. I wanted to talk about the games that didn't, right? Chapter 34, Speculation for DBD. I'm very interested to see what that's going to be. I'm pretty sure we're at a solid conclusion that it's going to be Tokyo Ghoul, right? And then that was fun. That was fun. We'll see how that goes, right? We'll see how that goes. But yeah, dudes, I'm going to head out, go hang out with fam before it gets too late. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It was good to see some, it was good to see you, Nene. I haven't seen you in a minute, bro. It's good to have you back in here, dog. I hope I see you guys next time. I'll be live, the day after tomorrow. We're on every other day stream scheduling. I'm trying to stream at 10 now. I'm backing up an hour, so 10 p.m. EST. Next time, we should be playing some fucking games, right? Some Street Fighter, some Mortal Kombat, something. We'll try MK1, jump back on Takeda, some shit like that. But yeah. Yo, Milkman, Jasper, Spider, Nene, Marcus. Good night, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Peace out, Dukes.